Hey guys, it's Fox Spirit here, and I'm here to give your twin flame reading to you. I've sort of stepped away from doing these twin flame readings. I haven't done one in quite a while, and the reason for that is it's been a very different year for me in a lot of ways. But one of the things is that I have started to be a little more skeptical of the whole twin flame thing, and I look at it now more as like a spiritual journey, which is ultimately what it is. And it's really about, I think, more of how a person comes into your life and becomes a catalyst for deep and profound healing and change and transformation if we are open to and available for that. So it usually comes into our lives at a point in time when we are ready. And I think it can be a dangerous thing to do videos and things that sort of prompt people to stay in what are maybe not the healthiest of dynamics and situations. A lot of the time, I really do think that this is the point of these connections, is to come into our lives to reshape us and to change how we love ourselves and others. So like I said, this has been a very different year for me. I've been really reshaping how I do relationships, how I am in relationship, how I navigate my dating life, and looking at my own self and my behaviors, and also standing up for myself. So always sort of towing the line and trying to find the balance, because that's really what we try and do in relationship, is find that balance between ourselves and another. And that's kind of what the twin flame journey is all about. So I guess this year I just haven't been, or the past few months I haven't been as active with these videos. I've been really busy. I've been working a lot. I'm in a yoga teacher training, so there's a lot of things going on, as always. But I also started to just kind of take a step back from it and pause and think, what am I doing when I make these videos? Yeah, it's entertainment. It's entertainment for some people that find this entertaining. And it's a creative outlet for me. And I have been on a twin flame journey. I met my twin in 2017. And I, went through a very big heart opening upon the arrival of that person into my life. And I think that that's really what those relationships do, is they get us in touch with our more vulnerable pieces. It did not manifest into, lifelong whatever, but it is someone that I still reach out to from time to time. And it's like, I just kind of need to know that he's okay, that he's out there, that he's alive. There's just seems to be these threads that kind of go between us, and it's magical and it's mystical, and that's sort of what those connections are like. So they're special, and they wake us up, and they help us to get in touch with our deepest core wounding, and how we love, and learning to love ourselves more and make ourselves more of a priority. And that's kind of what I think it's more about. So I'm trying to veer away a little bit from the twin flame thing, and where is my twin, and will they come back to me, and that whole thing, but more so focus on the spiritual journey of what that can provoke for us when we meet our twin. Or even just a spiritual journey aside from that person. Just anyone who's on a spiritual journey, anyone who's going through difficult times in relationships, or just in life in general with friendships, because life sometimes deals with a hard blow. And I just want to keep being here to radiate some kind of positivity, some kind of light. I'm a sort of unique person in the sense that I am a deep empath, but I'm a huge extrovert. So I go through my things, my emotional things, or I get in touch with my feelings, but I'm always going to want to come out and share that somehow, which is what most healers are like, are people who choose to work in the spiritual field or be light workers. As you know, most of the time they are people who have some kind of extroversion at the end of the day that want to express and share and connect their findings from the depths of their souls. So that's what I'm here to do. If you're interested in the romantic element of the twin flame journey, that is cool. But if you just are here to get some spiritual good juju and you just wanted to hear me say, hey, guess what? You're awesome. Life gets better. You can turn the video off now and just hear that, because guys, guess what? You are awesome and life gets better. Okay? So just remember that. But yes, we're going to do the twin flame reading from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. Okay? So if we want to approach this in a different way, where it's not so much about your other person, then you can think about your twin when I do this reading as maybe an issue in your life. It doesn't have to be romantic. So when I'm saying something about, the other person, you could turn that into the job you want to get at the bank, or your friend at work you're not getting along with, or just whatever it is that is sort of like a pressing issue in your life right now that you want some clarity on, or you want to transmute. It doesn't have to be about a significant other. It can be if you have a twin and you want to know, what they're up to, then yes. So for me today, I always think about my twin, but this is going to be more about career for me. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I know my twin is out there. I know he's alive, and I know I love him, and I know he loves me. I know we're not going to be together, and I'm at peace with that at this point in my life. So I'm kind of more curious now, like what that journey has brought me to. It's gotten me stronger, more confident, and I want to know now, as the twin flame journey has become for me more of a spiritual, personal journey and less about this other person, I'm curious to see where my career is going from here. Or my love life, that too, cool. But, so you can plug into that energy if you like. I'm going to shuffle the cards and sort of meditate on them and really get in touch with my inner self and like what exactly I'm honing in on personally. So as I'm doing that, I would welcome you to do the same and sort of come up with what you feel the cards are saying for you. So, just going to kind of close my eyes, pull my energy towards the cards, and really begin to feel that love radiating through me and through the cards. I'm just plugging into that. So I'm going to invite you to do the same as I'm shuffling. Just really get in touch with your heart space and sort of in touch with whatever is coming up for you today. Okay. So we're going to cut the deck. And, okay. So we're going to begin to all right, just feel that energy. And this first card is going to be the past. We have the bear. The present, starfish. In future, the nightingale. That is so sweet. Okay, so we have the bear, the starfish, and the nightingale as our cards. So, kind of delving into our emotions here, and we're going to think about the bear. Okay, so in the past, it's about waking up from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. And what did I just say about going toward the light? The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. So, I guess if there's been anything in your life that, you've been moving slowly on, you've been kind of hibernating, you've been asleep at the wheel, you're like the bear now, in the past you're coming out of that. You've been slowly coming out of that. So hopefully that's in the past. So however that applies in your life, and if you're thinking of your person, then maybe you were in a period of separation, or one of you was really internal and not communicative, and they're slowly coming out of that, or you're slowly coming out of that. So it's like the most recent past was sort of like a slumbering time, but there's, waking up now. Okay, so I don't know what that applies to for your life. I can see how that applies to my life and what I'm trying to think about with moving my career stuff forward. So, but then we come to the starfish. So we go right from the bear coming out of the slumber into the starfish. Starfish is beautiful, alluring, bright, shiny. I mean, this is not a very shadowy card. It's pretty light and bright. So we're coming straight right into the present, and it looks like a pretty happy time. The starfish is a natural and exquisite beauty, mesmerizing to all. Being around someone with starfish energy is a thrill, like you've been put under a spell of divinity itself. The problem is these creatures have been reliant on how they look and what other people think of them for so long that they may have forgotten their deeper callings. When this card appears, it's important to ask, am I being swayed by outward appearances? What dreams have I put aside to please others? Okay, so this could apply to your present state. Maybe you're having fun with someone, or you're just kind of operating off of your personal appearance right now, or the other person in the connection could be. And it's just sort of a chance to check in and, maybe get in touch with some deeper stuff. But at the same time, I feel like, well, you don't really have to. I mean, personally, I'm just saying, like, if you were slumbering and you were feeling groggy and you were feeling like an old bear and you just kind of woke up and you're like, you know what, now I'm a freaking starfish, I don't think you need to dim that light, personally. I think that if this could also be like if it applies to a twin flame or a love connection, then if it was feeling, withdrawn or hidden or weird, it's coming into the light now. There's some fun to be had. There's some good times. Maybe it's not going to be super deep and, long lasting, but there could be some fun, and there could be somebody pretty about to come into your life. So I personally don't see anything wrong with enjoying that. That's just me. But, everybody's different. And everybody likes superficial flings. But, if you do, you only live once. We have to have time for fun. I truly, firmly believe that, just because you're on a spiritual journey, it doesn't always have to be heavy. You don't always have to be hibernating. You don't always have to be that way. You can have some freaking fun. You can be a goddamn star. Stars are beautiful and spiritual too, and they're up in the sky, and I like them. So now we have the nightingale. This is the future. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. This simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of other birds, transports its listener to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. The card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. That is so sweet. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, and let it out. This is very interesting because I love to sing. I'm not a singer, but I love to sing. And I will publicly sing. And no one wants to hear it, but I'll do it. One of the reasons is because I believe that singing is healing. I think it's one of the most healing things that we can do. It feels good. It's just, I don't know. I just think it's a really great way to let your soul out and have some fun. So I feel like this is a great card. To me, it also is a sign of communication. So it's kind of a weird story we have here. We have someone coming out of hibernation and then right out into the light. Shiny, pretty, cute, and fun, but maybe kind of shallow. And then we go to the nightingale. And the nightingale to me is a little bit of both. We've got the light and the dark here. She's a pretty dark picture, but there's a big bunch of light and she's just singing. Look at that. Her mouth is open. So she's communicating and she's vocal and she's verbal and she's free and she's alive. And I think those are all really positive things. So if you were in hibernation with someone or some part of your life was kind of slowly trudging along, and then maybe you came out into the light, but it didn't feel, something felt like it was maybe missing or lacking, or it felt kind of shallow, or things are really based on appearances and there wasn't a lot of depth. Well, the nightingale will help you probably to vocalize whatever needed to be said or needs to be said. So however this applies in your life, whatever you've been sleeping on or sort of hiding out and you're kind of slowly coming out, it's going to come out. And you're going to find a way to express yourself. So what I would take from that, if it's a love connection, if there was, delay in communication, slow moving energy, that's going to lighten up and there will be communication. If it's something else in your life, a work situation, it can apply to anything. So whatever this is for you, whatever you kind of meditated about when I was shuffling the cards, however that applies in your life, there's going to be a breakthrough. There's going to be healing. There'll be a bridge between the dark and the light. So just know that. Again, keep in mind that these connections come into our lives to help us to get in touch with our own emotions, hearts, vulnerabilities to become better people. And you're awesome. Oh yeah, and I saw this little thing on my tea when I started talking, and it says this: there is nothing like you. There was nothing like you. And there shall be nothing like you. Again, interesting because it's like a little linear present, past, future, just like the cards. But I thought that was a beautiful phrase, and I'm going to just end it on that. So remember, there is nothing like you. There was nothing like you. And there shall be nothing like you.